everybody. Welcome back to some January 6th. Really excited, I looking forward, but let's get into it. And it's not that I don't want to do this or being forced. It's just, when it comes to politics, I really don't care. Anything that can't be controlled, I don't stress over. I don't worry about it. If it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. Like I've told Josh over and over. So well, I'm not worried what happens. Where it becomes where it affects where I need to worry, then yeah. I do what I need to when the time comes. Don't get me wrong. Oh.
Courtroom. Now indictment unsealing progress begins. Grand jury has returned an indictment. Judge reads grand jury indictment. Grand jury has returned 10 indictments. Indictment in Trump, Georgia probe awaiting details. Donald Trump indicted in Georgia election probe. Trump and others indicted in GA election probe.
Hearing Roe again, I was like, wait, did
Trump and 18 others indicted in GA election probe. 41 count indictment against Trump and 18 others. Fulton County DA holds press conference. Fulton County DA speaks about Trump indictment. DA Willis asking for trial date in next 6 months. Trump en route to Fulton County Jail for booking. Soon, Trump expected to surrender in GA election case.
Clearly didn't work.
Trump arrives for expected booking at Fulton County Jail. Trump
you can still be president.
Arrives.
You can still go to jail and still become president. There was a president that was in jail that did where he was reading, learning, and all that stuff, and still became president. I forget which one that is, but I'm sure you can find it if you look it up.
For expected booking. Trump arrives at Georgia jail for 4th arrest. Fulton County Jail. Now, Trump inside Fulton County Jail.
I know you don't want to hear this, Josh, but you're reading it like a robot. I know you're trying to focus so you don't mess up, but it's funny. Because I know you like hate AI and all, but Trump going to jail. I'm not trying to make fun of you or anything. Honest to God, I just kind of find it ironic.
Trump surrenders. Now under arrest in Fulton County.
It's just how slow he's reading it. Because again, he's reading
Trump
it off another iPad.
Released after being booked at Fulton County Jail. Trump mugshot was taken in Georgia jail. Trump released after being booked at Fulton County Jail.
And I'd like to say, my apologies. I should have muted my mic when I was working the shredder, and I didn't think about that all right off the bat. Otherwise, I would have. So, again, for future going on, if I need to use something like the shredder or etc., I will try my best to mute the mic. Otherwise, the only way to fix it is to either redo. Oh, I need water. Either redo or redo that section. But yeah, like I said, I'll try my best in the future to mute my mic when needed.
Trump mug shot taken during booking. Trump booked at Georgia jail. Mug shot taken. Trump arrives at airport following booking. Trump booked at Georgia jail. Mug shot taken. Trump leaves GA following historic fourth arrest.
In case all y'all wondering, it's a zinc
Fulton
supplement.
County
A little bit.
Sheriff releases Trump mug shot.
So you're not thinking that
The indictment of Donald Trump. Trump booked as inmate number.
Yeah, see, this is why you're reading it like slow so he doesn't mess up his words, and that's understandable. I have speech impairment, so yeah, without going slow or, I mean, even with my writing, unless I take my time, it can be a bit sloppy. Otherwise, if I really wanted to, I could make it look nice and fancy and all that stuff. If I really cared enough to. Depending on the document, like, whatever. You know.
P01135809. Mugshot released.
Uh-huh.
The government almost shut down because of Republicans.
Oh,
They're
well.
holding the government hostage because they want Joe.
Dang, Buffer. I'll come back in once it... Okay,
Biden to be impeached. And
Again,
there's no...
when it's a short video and it goes by so fast, it needs time to load the other one, but it doesn't get that much time because, like, you know, if they're like 20 seconds apart, and if it switches fast enough, then you get that issue.
Evidence to back it up. This was Donald Trump's plan this whole time. If it wasn't for Democrats passing the bill, the government would have shut down. It's open for 45 days. Speaker Kevin McCarthy has been voted out of Speaker. For the first time in American history, the House doesn't have a Speaker. That means the government can't function, can't pass bills.
Okay. Like Calvin McCarthy. Is he related to the Calvin from Home Alone piece?
Can't
I know he's not. That's a
fund
joke,
the government.
by the way.
Even if we get a new speaker, it doesn't guarantee that it will save us. Mike Johnson is the new Speaker of the House. We'll have to see which direction this goes in. At one point, we're on the defense, while the other, he did a good speech. We'll just have to wait and see. We don't know what's going to happen yet, but we'll just have to wait and see.
Mm-hmm.
The government almost shut down because of
The way it started, I was like, wait, what? Again? On the same video? Jeez.
Republicans. The House and
But
the
not really
Senate
that shocker.
passed a continue.
Okay, it's not the shocker that the government almost shut down. The only shock that I had was the way it started off at. It sounded like the previous video. I was just that made my brain think, oh wait, did something go wrong? Did it go back to the previous video somehow? You know, kind of thing.
Waiting resolution with major bipartisan support. Some departments would be funded through January 19th, while others would be funded through February 2nd. That means Congress would have to address 2 more government shutdown deadlines in early 2024. The Republicans only got a few things done. They used their power to try to impeach Biden with no
That freeze frame.
evidence and use their
I'm gonna have to just
conspiracy
pause it after
theories
every
as
video for it to
evidence.
load properly.
They went through 2 speakers and has created chaos and fights. We are about to experience a double government shutdown that we don't know if Republicans can even pass. The government almost shut down because of
Double shutdown. Oh my god, wouldn't that be a third shutdown? And again, really? Are you really this shocked? The government has been dysfunctional since the dawn of time. like I said, it's always the greater of two evils, never the lesser of two goods. Even when they have a really good dude come in, they'll pass some of his stuff, but not all of his stuff, you know? So, yeah.
Republicans. The bill extends deadlines to March 1st and March 8th. The Senate passed the legislation 77 to 18. The House followed suit 314 to 108. The bill will be sent to President Biden to sign into law. Both shutdowns were averted.
Since we'll be skipping
Democrats
that day,
and Joe
likely,
Biden
anyway.
had the perfect border bill that would not only solve the border crisis issue, it would do more and then some. But Republicans rather refused the bill to support Trump and use the border crisis for political gain against Joe Biden. Trump said if NATO doesn't pay, Trump will have Russia invade other countries. This is bad because it would cause a World War III and it would be catastrophic around the world. Everyone is pissed about this, and everyone's reaction is devastating. George Santos.
Wait for it to load. I might only be doing 30 minutes because I kind of want to get a Digimon video up for possibly today, but at the same time I kind of want to start next. Let's see. I would say because Lucas' birthday sure, but we'll just have to see. And yes, I'm playing Borderlands. Sue me.
Lied about everything to get into power.
Again, if you don't know something about me, just with one monitor, I'd be on Roblox, Wizard 101, RuneScape, watching YouTube while scrolling through Facebook, all on one monitor. I can multitask when I want to. No, just because it seems like I'm not paying attention doesn't mean I'm not. What's the quest that I need to do, though? Seek out. Oh, right, I gotta go seek her out.
He got kicked out a year later. They held a special election today, and Democrat Tom, last name Suozzi, flips George Santos' House seat. This is a big deal for the Democrats. Trump ordered to pay in New York civil fraud trial $364+ million. Cannot operate business.
New York civil fraud trial. Okay.
In New York
I'm just checking
for
the title.
3 years.
No shotgun.
Eric and Don Trump Jr. banned from doing business in New York for 2 years.
Wow.
7 Springs, Trump's value $261 million to $291 million. Appraised value $30 million. 40 Wall Street, Trump's value $735.4 million. Appraised value $540 million. Mar-a-Lago, Trump's value $426.5 million
Ooh, I could
to
buy a dog with that piece.
$612 million. Appraised
Here.
value $18 million to $27.6 million. Persistent and repeated fraud, falsifying business records, conspiracy to falsify business records, issuing false financial statements, conspiracy to falsify false financial statements, insurance fraud, conspiracy to commit insurance
I might try
fraud.
the booking out. I don't know about the explosion.
This President's Day, Trump is considered the worst president in American history. While Biden
I don't know
is
about
considered
that. That could
to
probably be worse.
the
Maybe at the moment, but you never know. There could be worse when we're not alive.
14th best president in American history. The state.
Let it load. Yeah, I'll probably do the Borderlands, what I'm doing while it's loading. I don't know. Sell. Yeah, shotgun ×2 grow chance.
State of the world is becoming really bad right now. Democracies all over the world is becoming endangered. Multiple attacks on government are happening in multiple countries around the world. Corruption and abuse of systems are getting really bad. Law enforcement and abuse of power is getting really bad across the country and around the world. Humanitarian crises are getting worse because of climate and the wars. Misinformation is becoming very, very bad right now because of misinformation and false information. Things are getting so bad in the world right now that industries across the industry are struggling to make ends meet. And industries across the board is suffering because of it. Joe Biden just did the best speech in American history. He covered all the bases.
Not to ruin your parade, but the best speech in America is debatable. I'm not saying it wasn't. I haven't heard it. I'm not saying it isn't. But at the same time, it's just a matter of perspective and the person. Because if you don't follow Joe Biden, you don't like the Democrats, then it's not going to be the best speech, even if you're a Democrat. Democrat, I meant to say, depending on your favorite president, it's probably not going to be the best speech ever. So it just varies and depends on the person.
And even though I can't tell you them all, he said that he's going to fight for everyone. He is going to fight for everyone. Make sure to keep these Republicans in line and make sure that Donald Trump doesn't get away with it. He is going to fight for our country really hard. And he is going to fight like you wouldn't even believe. And when he's done fighting, he is going to make sure our future is bright and strong. He is going to fight for everyone. He is going to fight for you. He's going to fight for me. He's going to fight for seniors. He's going to fight for disability. He's going to fight for middle class. He's going to fight for everyone. And when he became president, he is the best darn president in American history.
Again, I'm not trying to be rude to Biden or anything, but the best all depends on perspective. Because there's some people that probably like Obama, or some people that will probably like Roosevelt, or certain people, whether it's Democrat or Republican, better than they will Biden. Not saying he isn't a good president or anything. All I'm saying is, it just a matter. It just depends. It's like, you can be a Democrat and still not like Biden as your favorite president, but like him. Favorite is subjective to certain people. You could be Democrat and like Obama. You could be Democrat and like this president or that president, whether Republican or not. You know, everybody's going to have their favorite president. Mine, I really don't know. I wouldn't really know. Because, again, I'm not into politics that much. I'll vote when needed, but that's about it. Anything else out of the control of what I can do, I don't worry about it. Like I said at the start of the video. I don't stress over things I cannot control. Unnecessary stress. Politics just gives you unnecessary stress, unnecessary anxiety, unnecessary everything, in my opinion. If you want to cause yourself stress and anxiety that is going to degrade your health, that's on you. But me personally, I'm not going to let fear, I'm not going to let anxiety, I don't even have anxiety, but I'm still not going to let it, or anything to control the way I live. If it's within my control, I'll do something about it when I need to and can. But otherwise, if it's out of my control, politics, etc., like the weather, you can't do anything about it. I don't like the cold, but I deal with it. Do what I need to when I need to go outside, etc. That's my point. Handle it when I need to. Otherwise, if it's out of my control and I can't do anything, what's the point of stressing over it?
As President Putin I've known for a long time is simple. We will not walk away. We will not bow down.
I'm going the right way. I am not.
In a literal sense, history is watching. History is watching. With a heart and soul that draws from old and new. Home to Native Americans and ancestors have been here for thousands of years. Home to people of every place, from every place on earth. They came freely. Some came in chains. Some came when famine struck, like my ancestral family in Ireland. Some to flee persecution. To chase dreams, that are possible anywhere but here in America. That's America. And we all come from somewhere. So we're all Americans. My fellow Americans. The issue facing our nation isn't how old we are, it's how old are our ideas. Hate, anger, revenge, retribution are the oldest of ideas. But you can't lead America with ancient ideas, only take it back. You lead America, the land of possibilities. You need a vision for the future and what can and should be done.
Yeah, I don't think I like, what the? Make sure we're still on track. Okay, good. That's what I mean. If it takes so long, it gets so fast done, it's just boom.
Roosevelt's purpose was to wake up Congress and alert the American people that this was no ordinary time. Freedom and democracy were under assault in the world. Tonight, I come to this same chamber to address the nation. Now, it's we who face an unprecedented moment in the history of the Union. And yes, my purpose tonight is to wake up the Congress and alert the American people that this is no ordinary moment either. Not since President Lincoln and the Civil War have freedom and democracy been under assault at home as they are today. What makes our moment rare is that freedom and democracy are under attack both at home and overseas at the very same time. If you, the American people, send me a Congress that supports the right to
Let it load.
choose, I promise you, I will restore Roe v. Wade as the law of the land again.
And Spiderling.
I see a future where defending democracy, you don't diminish it. I see a future where we restore the right to choose and protect our freedom, not take them away. I see a future where the middle class finally has a fair shot, and the wealthy have to pay their fair share in taxes. I see a future where we save the planet from the climate crisis and our country from gun violence.
I don't want one,
I see a future for all Americans.
try to find a sniper that's an explosive problem.
Donald Trump became the nominee for the Republican Party.
Okay?
This is the final straw for America.
Why?
You
I
can
wonder.
either vote for Joe Biden so that we can save democracy, save our rights, and help us get through climate change, or you could.
I'm sorry, but no matter who is in president, the only way we're going to combat climate change, president or not, is if people stop becoming the problem and become the solution by recycle, recycle, picking up the trash, no littering, planting trees, etc. Otherwise, doesn't matter what the government does to help. If people are doing the stuff that, like littering, not recycling, and all that stuff that's being the problem, then in the long run, depending how much government's doing, it's gonna not outweigh what the people are doing that aren't helping. So, we need more people than we do you know.
Could vote for Donald Trump to abuse power, destroy democracy itself, and become the first president to stay in power until the day he dies.
That's not gonna happen.
The government almost shut down because of Republicans. The bill extends deadlines to September. The Republicans really pushed for a
You came out
government
of nowhere.
shutdown. If it
God.
wasn't for the Senate saving the
Not
day,
ready for that.
we would have
I'm
had
trying to
a
look for you. There you
longer
are.
government shutdown than we did.
Go ahead, thing. Then I'm
Republicans
recording.
caused a very short shutdown because they waited until the last minute to pass the bill through the House. And it left very little time for the Senate to pass the bill in time to avert a government shutdown. We are the leaders. We are the people.
Okay, with things being probably short. Probably I'm gonna get done or almost
To
done in this
save
episode.
democracy from hell.
Uh-huh.
We are the democracy that will bring the light. The only way, if we're going to get through Trump, is us, the people, to take charge, to vote in this very moment. The only way forward is to take charge of our actions and make the right choices. Donald Trump was found guilty on all 34 counts. And for the first time in American history, a ex-president of the United States is a convicted felon. Trump...
No, not first time. That is not true. The first president that was in prison. Yeah, it is Grant's the first president to be arrested while in office, taken into custody in 1872 for speeding with his horse and buggy in Washington. While other presidents have been investigated or charged, like yada yada and yada yada, were never arrested or convicted while in office until yada yada. But yeah, no. Yeah, so right here, especially. Trump is not the first president in history to be arrested while in office, but is the first president to face criminal charges and get indicted and be convicted of a felon. But he isn't the first to be arrested or taken into custody wise. Can you become president if you're in jail? Yeah, the person can legally become president while in jail or a convicted felon. Congress sets only three requirements: be a new natural-born citizen, at least 35 years old, and a 14-year resident. none of which are violated by the or criminal record. Historical president. Eugene Debs ran for president in 1920 from a federal prison and received nearly 1 million votes. The constitutional limit. The Constitution does not prohibit felons from holding office. Only 14th Amendment, which bears involved in organization, practically, while illegal, running for country president can create unpredicted controversial crises, like facing court to address the conflict between criminal sentence and concession duty. A candidate can be under indictment or convicted felony and still legally campaign and take office. So, just because they're in jail doesn't mean you cannot become a president.
Sentencing hearing set for July 11th. The people that were involved in the 2016 campaign convicted. The people that were involved in the 2020 campaign convicted. The people that were involved in Donald Trump's business convicted. The President of the United States, Donald Trump, that was involved in everything, convicted. Every plan and scheme that was involved in are now convicted. Trump went to Capitol Hill today, the same place January 6th happened, and Republicans are on his side. We truly don't know what's going to happen, and we're all fearing for our lives because of Donald.
Not all are fearing because of their lives. Again, I don't want to get religious, but again, when I do get religious, first off, like talk about God, etc., I don't force my views on the people. If you don't believe in God, or you're Muslim, or a different religion, that's fine by me. You don't have to. I don't force it, you know? But I'm not going to be afraid to spread the gospel. So, but I try to keep it to a minimal, because I know how some people are, and I try to respect people's views and beliefs on the subject. But if you put your worries and your stress with God, you have no reason to typically, like, keep the stuff that you cannot control into His hands, especially because He can take that stress, He can take that anxiety, He can take that and deal with it for you. Like yesterday at church, with a good message. So, in everything, do to others what you would have them do to you. For this sums up the law and the prophet. Luke 6:31. Do to others what you would have them do to you. And no debt remain outstanding, except the continuing debt to love one another. For though whoever loves another has fulfilled the law, the commandments. You shall not commit adultery, you shall not murder, you should not steal, you should not covet. But whatever you command there may be are summed up in this one command. Love your neighbor as yourself. Love does not harm to a neighbor. Therefore, love is a fulfillment of the law. The entire law is fulfilled in keeping this one command. Love your neighbor as yourself. So, learn to see others the way God sees you, whether they're Trump or not. Give what you hope to get in everything you do The golden rule isn't about avoiding wrong. It's about initiating good. Inheriting, I think, initiating, INITIATING. Again, my handwriting wasn't the best because I was writing on my knee, but still, the point is, bad or good, you ain't gonna fight anything with hate. Love thy neighbor as you would love yourself. See others how God sees you. Whether they like Trump or not. Just don't have to interact with them. You don't have to give them the reaction that they crave. You know? It's all. So, yeah.
Donald Trump. This truly feels like 2020 all over again. And we fear for the future
it doesn't
of
really.
What's to come.
It just feels like any
There's
other day.
There's new audio in the White House that Donald Trump said he lost the 2020 election, and he still pushed for the overturning of the will of the people.
Mm-hmm.
Donald Trump will have complete immunity if he becomes president. The Supreme Court granted access for Donald Trump's immunity for any crime possible. Donald Trump now has the ability to assassinate a president if he gets elected and can get away with it.
I highly
This is
doubt
the
that.
most dangerous scenario in history.
Uh-huh.
Our democracy is really at stake now if he gets elected.
Uh-huh.
Okay, guys, I want to talk about...
This will probably be the last one, by the way.
About a different topic. Prices going up. And us getting value is less.
Not really.
Not
really. Again, last week of the market, I got 6 items for $10.34. It was some bread, 2 sandwiches. Actually, no, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 6 items. 2 bread, 2 bread, 2 sandwiches. 5 items. I mean, yeah. No, if you know how to save, you know how to coupon or have apps like Kroger app for the digital coupons, or you know how to save with the stuff of looking for the deals. Everything I've gotten has now gone up in price. The milk I get, still $4.99. The bread I get, typically is off the overbake section, which it's 50% off, if not marked down. Because, yeah, typically the bread that I can have anyway, so I go there, always check. Unless I desperately need it, I go for the one by the bakery, but still, those haven't even gone up. So, I really don't see prices going up with what I'm getting. I don't know what he's getting. I don't know what y'all are getting, but when I go shopping, I can get a lot for like 50 to 100 depending on how much I'm getting. But at the same time, it's the little stuff that you need to worry about. The little stuff adds up more than the big stuff. Just because it's $5, $6, or $1, it adds up. So, I don't know what he's shopping for, but everything I've gotten good deals. I've gotten deals, and I've not had a problem, and anything that I've gotten typically hasn't gone up. So, I don't know what's going on about.
Noticing that prices across the board are just going up.
Mm-hmm.
and we're getting less because of it.
Not
There's,
really.
like, so many.
We've already been getting less with chips. Again, they put more air than chips, which I think is a good make them sure they don't crush or anything, which is understandable a bit. Still,
Examples I could give when it comes to value, when it comes to pricing. Like, for example, subscriptions across the board, whether it's YouTube or music.
first off, YouTube, you don't need to subscribe. You only subscribe to YouTube Premium for the fact that if you don't want ads, and you can play it offline, download videos, and all that stuff. Otherwise, it's like whatever. Whatever. Netflix, it's not that expensive. $7.99 with ads. And the ads aren't even the problem. The ads mainly pop up when you put it on pause. Otherwise, when you're watching it, it doesn't pop up. The only time I go with no ads is if I want to watch something that isn't on the plan of with ads. Otherwise, I stay on the $7.99 plan, really. And again, Disney Plus, Hulu, you get a deal still with that, with both of them if you get them both. Instead of buying both of them separate. And they're not really expensive, and you can get your money out of them depending on how often you watch it. Like with Netflix, when I'm not watching it as much, I put it on pause. That way, I don't need to worry about it. For bill-wise.
Streaming services are starting to rise in prices. Gaming subscriptions are starting to go up now. I mean, Xbox just announced that they're going to raise Game Pass up, and you're going to get less value because of it. You know that day one subscription when it comes to getting games day one? Well, now they're getting rid of that now.
So, I mean, again, who cares? You don't use that anyway. And, I mean, if we're being honest, whether it's digital or physical disc, eventually, if those games have stopped getting produced, and no matter how good you take care of your disc, if you take good care of it, it'll last longer, but eventually, it'll become where you can't play it. Then if you can't buy it anywhere else, you're screwed. It'd be the same thing as if they took it offline. Whether it's an online or Steam, etc. Just be longer, but it'll still be inedible.
And
inevitable. I mean,
prices across the board are getting bad.
Uh-huh.
Like, for example, grocery prices are getting high. We used to be able to get a whole bunch of groceries with the price, but now we're getting way less. And
again, not to be mean, I don't know if you know how to shop or what you're getting, but again, like I said, I could not have a problem with grocery shopping. Everything that I got isn't expensive. And again, whether I get it allowed or not, I typically get a good full cart for like $50 to $100. What I get most of the time, depending on how much I get. Because if she's gone shopping, then either the freezer or the fridge will be stocked. So depending on what I'm getting, I'm gonna have to not be able to get because of the fact that we don't want to overfill the house, So it just all depends. But still, regardless, yeah, I can get a good amount. Under to 50 to like 10 to 100, etc., depending on what I get and how much I get.
It's essentials across the board in stores we can't afford nowadays. Like, for example, bag goodies. There's this thing called bag inflation. Basically, you get a big bag, but only get this much inside. We're getting less for products. But not only that, but even just
First off, second off, and third off, I should say. Bag inflation. That's not anything to do with the price. That's most likely going to be due to the company being greedy. Depending on how much it lasts. Because some companies will be greedy to where they'll be like, oh, we could charge the same amount of price, but take a little bit more out so they get less. That's more of the company instead of the government or inflation, really. So, it just all depends. And again, everything I've gotten, whether it was a bag of chips, a bag of Pringles, etc., it has not changed. It's quantity. So, again, I don't know what you're getting, but clearly, what I'm getting is clearly different.
basics are getting more expensive now. Like, for example, toys, video games.
Toys, oh my god. Of course toys, depending on the toy. Again, if they want to manufacture whether it's a game or not, depending on how much it costs to produce the dolls or toys or game, if they want to continue making them for people of that production, they need to make sure they make a certain amount, which comes to the price to sell, to get the money to basically, produce more. Otherwise, if they can't meet the met of what it takes to produce, and no one's buying them, then they stop producing, and they just move on from that thing, and then boom. It's always been like that. Games have always been pricey. Toys have always been pricey, but we don't need toys. We don't need games. We can read books. We can go to a library. So, those are just luxuries and accessories. So, they're not desperately needed.
Baby products. Basically everything across the board is getting more expensive. Like, for example, that one time I went into a Kroger's, and there was this one very small Pokemon collector's thing, Pokemon, a paper Pokemon thing. It only had a couple cards in it, okay? And it literally costs $5. It's basically the cheapest.
Oh my god. You're freaking over a baseball, like a Pokemon card. Small packs always cost that much. In the day. I mean, it may cost $5, but there's a chance. If you pull a really rare one out, right? If you pull a really rare one out, if you get that luck, it can be worth more than $5. And second, again, it takes a lot to produce certain things. How often do you even buy Pokemon cards? You don't. I don't see why you're worried about it regardless.
Basically the cheapest Pokemon cards, and it literally costs $5 just for a couple Pokemon cards, for crying out loud.
It's always been like that.
And apparently gas is getting really bad too. I mean,
I don't have to worry about gas because I bike if I can, if not bus. So typically, it's not a problem. And Teslas are not the best things, as I was telling Josh. Again, it takes rare minerals, lithium, to make the battery, which is intense mining, which is not good for the earth, and then other stuff to make the car. If everyone were to switch to a Tesla, it would impact carbon footprint really bad. Don't switch to the Tesla just because it's the new hottest thing. Wait until your car you need a new car. Drive the one that you have. The best thing you can do is to drive less. Drive only when you need to. Otherwise, walk, bike, like, do other stuff if you can. And then when you absolutely need a new car, then you upgrade. And then even when you do upgrade, buy a used one instead of a new one, and you'll be helping the carbon footprint. Because even when you get electric cars, all that electricity is coming from coal power plants. So the more you charge, the more you're pulling from that grid. Until a long ways away, they get solar panels and windmills. You ain't helping the planet as much as you think with electric cars. I read somewhere that a lot of people are going from electric cars back to gas because there's not many charging spots around and all that stuff. So really,
At one point, it almost reached to $4. Prices in general are just getting ridiculous nowadays. I mean, some people can't even afford to get cars anymore.
Sorry, I accidentally lost where it was. Hopefully this is where it is. If it's not, forgive me. Come on.
I mean, some people can't even afford to get cars anymore because prices of cars are getting so bad.
Again, cards. A lot of people are using the app nowadays. The trading card app, to where you can buy packs on there or get 2 free packs a day on there. Basically, so people are nowadays are just buying not even the physical cards. So it really doesn't matter.
Bad. Apparently people are having trouble trying to pay their bills and trying to, find housing. College is getting really, really, really insane. I mean, I've heard
college has always been expensive depending on the college you go to. You do not need to go to college for it to be expensive, okay? Some colleges allow you to work there to help with pain or to lower it a bit. Some colleges, like community college, don't really cost that much. It just depends on the college you want to go to. If you want to go to a college like Harvard or Stanford or whatever that is expensive, then that's on you. No one else. You didn't have to go to that college. You chose to go to an expensive college to get to where the degree you want, that you could probably get anywhere else at any other college. If you want to go to the best one, whose fault is that?
across the board in America, people are just insanely in debt because of how bad things are getting.
Oh, brother.
I mean, prices are just getting ridiculous. I mean,
like they've always been throughout the history?
We're basically paying more and getting less.
Not really.
Even microtransactions are getting more expensive. I mean, you're gonna pay more on microtransactions and get less. Games are more expensive. Just even basic essentials is just getting way overpriced.
Really? Again, I don't know what you're getting, but like, I got this game from Mega Replay. $7.99. Heck, I saw Beyond Two Souls there. $23. Again, depending on the game and how much it costs to produce, or how rare or special it is, especially going to be pricey. But you know, but other than that, I don't see a problem. This is a problem, especially. I don't know if I am blessed enough to where it doesn't impact me. If I am, thank the Lord. I'm not trying to boast or brag or anything. But I get some people, yes. I'm not saying there's no people in debt. I'm not saying there isn't any people that can't afford things like poor or a little bit poor or people like having trouble with money. Don't or in tough spots, don't get me wrong. But if you know how to spend, you know how to look for deals, you only get what you need and not what you don't need. Like games and stuff, that's accessory. That's luxury. You don't need those. You don't need Pokemon cards unless you're collecting them or playing the game. Really. So, yeah.
And it's because of inflation, and I don't know if there's anything we can do about it either. And because of the wars that are going overseas, that's really impacting inflation badly. And not only that, but even some things like climate change are affecting it too. Like, for example, farming. Farming is just getting ridiculous because people can't even farm anymore because heating going so high that's just basically killing the crops.
Depends on the crop and the seasons. They could just be planting the wrong ones.
For a long time. No matter it's housing, gas, cars, trucks, gaming, basically everything across the board is...
Newsflash, inflation has been happening since the dawn of time. There's nothing... Again, if more the government, I think that's in debt of like the money it borrows from here and there. That's what the taxes, inflation, when they go up is probably for too, as long as the war. But again, it just depends. But again, if I am blessed, thank you Lord, that I don't have to worry about this typically with my income, Social Security or not, etc., then, yeah, I'm not saying there aren't people in tough spots or some people that are in a jam or in debt. But sometimes debt or all that is basically how you choose to do things as well. Some people are not good with finances. Not everybody, but, you know, it just depends on the circumstances.
Going up in prices. Heck, I'm even having to save up my money for other stuff just to be able to get by. I mean, apparently the consoles when it comes to pricing, they're not going down. And any new PlayStation, Xbox, or Nintendo Switch, they're just going to up the prices and it's just going to be more expensive to get even...
First off, not really. Those take a lot to produce and whatnot, and if you're complaining about that regardless of inflation, that's not your main worry with the consoles and all that crap. Your main worry is the fact that people will buy them, no matter the price, and then flip it and then charge more than the stores do. So I think that's where your main concern should lie. Not the store. They're just doing what they are told. They're pricing it what they are being told to price it from the company. So things that are in the store that are prices are going to... It's not the store's fault.
These new consoles. And they're not going down. I think some games even are not going down because of this inflation.
Uh-huh.
And things could just get worse. I mean, not that long ago, you know the Supreme Court, right? Apparently they just overturned regulations when it comes to basically everything. So, I imagine for the companies out there that has regulations that make sure that the environment's protected, toys and all kinds of stuff, prices, basically things are going to get worse because they can actually, this companies could probably get away with all kinds of stuff now because the Supreme Court actually got rid of regulations.
Sure.
Like, there could be
Not
so
saying it's
many
wrong,
instances
but at
of
the same time, it's like, yeah,
overpricing. Incidents of certain products not being the right product. Like, for example, that one time when we went to Kroger, we bought some white bread. And you know what it was? It was wheat bread. We bought white bread and it was wheat.
Are you sure you bought white bread? Because you could have probably grabbed something that looked like white bread, and then you saw white bread, but then you grabbed the wrong bread. You know? And again, white bread is wheat bread. It's just different flour. The white flour instead of enriched flour. That was kind of slightly different.
And thing is, some people are allergic to wheat bread. So if you buy white bread and it turns out wheat and you don't know it, you're pretty much screwed at that point.
Not really.
I mean, there's no level of insanity.
First off, if you're buying bread, you look at what you buy, okay? Look at what you buy. You use your peepers. Read the label. Unless they actually said white bread on there. Then what you can do is you take it back to the store and see what they can do about it. If they can't do anything about it, then you go probably complain to the manufacturer of the bread. But if you don't do that, then you really can't complain. If you grab the wrong bread, then that's on you.
That these companies will be able to do now.
Your brother.
I mean, there could be just all kinds of illegal stuff that could pass through because these regulations are just obsolete now because of the Supreme Court.
Brother.
And these prices are just ridiculous, man. And I feel like just companies like all over America are just going to have all kinds of power now because...
First off, all companies all over America, depending on how their business morals are, they won't be doing anything shady. It's the ones that are trying to scam more, depending on their business practice and what they do, that will probably be doing it. And they probably do that anyway, regardless of regulations. They'll find a way to get around them, just to get away with cutting corners. All businesses, well, not all businesses, but some businesses have already been doing that since the dawn of time, regulations or not. So your point?
Anyways, this is Josh signing out.
Well, I'm going to end this here. Hope you enjoyed.